You know what? Let's start with the vignette sponsor, shall we?
Okay, yeah, I think that'll be good.
The opening of the Mike O'Mara Show is brought to you by Vistaprint.com. If you own a business, you know the importance of networking and professional quality business cards. Do what millions of business owners do, and what we all did, use Vistaprint.com. I saw a TV commercial for Vistaprint. Did you guys see that?
Yeah.
Big.
Classy.
Big time.
Mm-hmm. Stay focused, dear.
I'm sorry. Vistaprint has thousands of designs online. Or you can upload.
It's going to be one of those.
Or you can upload your own artwork. Yes. Vistaprint now has an improved card with heavier stock and no price increase.
Not at all.
Right now.
Hold it.
Yeah.
When?
Right now.
Right.
You can get 250 of these cards and free shipping for just $10. That's half the regular price.
That is half.
But you have to enter the code TMOS.
You have to do it.
It's right there.
Yeah, on your shirt.
That's the code you have to do. My sweatshirt that's covering a naked body.
Oh, no.
Hold it. You're wearing the hoodie with nothing under it?
That's the man. Hey, that is the tired, hungover, jet lag disc jockey.
I will say this. You are a gambler in more ways than one, because with the amount of chest hair you have, I wouldn't have a zipper anywhere near it.
Yes, all gray now. Right now, you can get 250 of these cards with free shipping, $10. It's a great deal. Remember that code, TMOS. Check out their whole line of printed products. Again, for half off those premium business cards and free shipping, enter the code TMOS at Vistaprint.com.
Thank you, Mike O'Mara, and welcome to the We Are Back episode of Mike O'Mara's show.
Yeah,
and great time in Reno that we'll be talking about. But before that, we have a new character, a new addition to the show we'd like to enter.
Wonderful.
His name is Fiscal Cliff.
Hey there.
How you doing, Cliffy?
How you doing there, Robbie? Fiscal Cliff here. Boy, it's great to be with all you boys. How are you?
Good to see you, Cliff.
Everybody's talking about you.
Fiscal Cliff.
Everybody's talking about you, but here's the thing.
Yeah, well, everybody talks about me because I'm an expert in a lot of things, including the space-time continuum, resulting in our current economic
Really?
But no one really knows. No one really knows what the Fiscal Cliff is all about.
It's not the Fiscal Cliff. I am the person, Fiscal Cliff.
I'm sorry. So can you explain?
I am precariously hanging over the recession abyss.
So, are we headed towards you?
Yes, when a man looks into the abyss.
Yes.
I love that movie, Wall Street. What's that?
I was just saying, so that's why everybody's paying attention to you right now.
You bet. Well, yeah, and also if they listen, here's the deal, Buzz. If they listen to Fiscal Cliff, they'll learn a few things.
Well, it's about time.
I happen to be an expert on all things, not just economic, but also worldly. Yes, Oscar.
Mr. Cliff.
Yes, hello, Fiscal. Just call me Fiscal.
Fiscal.
Hello.
Hey, Fizz.
I want to thank listener Joe. I believe it's well. I'll give him credit later.
What has better odds? The Fiscal Cliff coming to fruition,
Yes,
or the slot machines at Circus paying out?
Well, it's I think it's more of a trifecta.
Oh.
What you got there is you got your you got your slots at Circus, you got your economic disaster potential, and you got the NHL lockout. You put these things together, and I would say they're all even money.
Even money.
Yes, Fiscal Cliff.
Hey, do you have opinions on other things?
Oh, I do.
What about the election?
Hey, how about that election, huh?
That was wild, wasn't it?
You know, it resulted in a 1 or 2% popular vote increase for the sitting president, Obama, and then Barack Obama.
That's well done.
And then then you had your electoral college, which I didn't go to college, but I know about the electoral college.
You know a lot of things.
I do.
And so you were not surprised by the outcome because
I knew the outcome.
You know so much.
Actually, even the afternoon, about hours before the votes were counted, I already had a pretty good idea in my head what the final outcome would be.
Why are you so smart?
I use several algorithms that result in a projection model that I use when I do it in the back of my postal truck. Yes.
Oh, that's
Go
what
ahead,
I was
Oscar.
asked. Fiscal,
Yes.
are you gainfully employed?
Yes, I work for the United States Postal
How many
Service.
years?
Have for years, 42 years.
Oh.
42 years
know
with
a guy-
the USPS.
Do you know a guy named Robert Adams?
Bob Adams? Yeah, wonderful guy. Yes, he's terrific, and we call him Gums down at the postal office because he had some new teeth made, and then he didn't use them because they were uncomfortable.
What is your best tip for dental hygiene?
Dental hygiene is to floss regularly.
Good.
Yes,
right.
Because what you have is your bacteria strains can fester in the mouth more than any other part of the human body, right?
That's very true, Cliff.
So it's normally what happens, and of course these can result in not only bad breath halitosis issues, but more severe health complications.
Yeah,
You are
Not
pretty
sure what they are.
smart.
Thank you very much. Fiscal Cliff.
Yeah, Fiscal Cliff is my favorite. He's joining us today on the show.
Thank you very much. Great to be here. Great to be here as we steamroll towards economic calamity.
Quick sidebar.
Yes, hello, Oscar.
This past election wasn't just presidential. In California, they voted to use dental dams and
Dental
condoms
dams,
inside adult movies. Your thoughts?
Well, the last dental dam I saw, I believe, was just outside of Las Vegas. It was rather large.
No, that's not a dental dam.
What is that?
That was the Hoover Dam.
Well, that's the same made famous in the movie Lost in America.
Exactly.
When they drive out to Dental Dam.
Hey, you know what? Here's something.
Yes.
What happened that made Albert Brooks not funny anymore?
Well, I believe it's just saturation in Hollywood.
Yeah.
Hollywood is a confusing place, with producers, directors, and basically you get people that invite themselves up.
All right. Any
I
closing?
believe I've run out of gas.
I was going to say, any closing thoughts, CF?
Official, I want to end the show now. What?
Any closing thoughts, CF?
Yes, I would just like to say you need to respect the fiscal cliff.
Yes.
You need to honor the fiscal cliff.
Right.
And you need to buy drinks for the fiscal cliff. Thank you very much. Fiscal cliff out.
You can listen to The Mike O'Mara Show at www.mikeomarashow.com.
Stay tuned for an outstanding entertainment program.
It's The Mike O'Mara Show.
Let's get down to business.
From the entertainment capital of the world.
It was the unveiling of Francis's cut of The Godfather. In the theater sat Francis with his quadrilla of assistants and editors and ascuses, plus the rest of his production team were all there. The film was to open in 4 months, Paramount's big Christmas gift to the world. The lights went down, the picture started. 2 hours and 6 minutes later, the room began to fill with light. Francis, I want to speak with you, alone. I was on fire, and the prince himself took a half hour to get to my office. Thanks for showing, Francis. I couldn't help it. All my boys were telling me how great the picture is. They tell me not to touch a frame. The picture stinks, Francis. Got it? You shot a great film. Where the is it? In your kitchen with your spaghetti? It sure ain't on the screen. Where's the family, the heart, the feeling? Is that left in the kitchen, too? Ooh, did cop the glare. Schmuck. Name me a studio head that tells a director to make a picture longer. Only a nut like me would. But you're gonna do it. You shot a saga, pal. But you turned in a trailer. Now go back and give me a movie.
Coming to you live from Mike O'Mara's living room studio in the historic radio district of Manassas, Virginia, a bustling suburb of the nation's capital. It's the Mike O'Mara Show, featuring Buzz Burbank with Rob Spiewak and Oscar Santana. And now, from his couch, here's Mike.
We are live back in the bosom of our living room studio, the Cappy Pfeiffer Studios.
Hi,
This
Cap.
is America's most beloved podcast, The Mike O'Mara Show. Downloaded more than 16 million times, and we are heard in 150 countries worldwide. Call us, won't you, please?
Really not today.
Kinda busy.
It really is hot in here, isn't it?
Yeah.
At 718-506-1625.
Don't call.
It is Tuesday, November 13,
Hey, you know what it is, Mike?
2012.
Tuesday feels like a Monday.
Yes, it does. We're glad to be with you, and our show today is brought to you by a new client for the
Yay.
Mike O'Mara Show, SodaStream. Now you can have your own soda made fresh at home for about 25 cents a can in less than 30 seconds. This is so much fun.
Cool.
SodaStream is the ultimate holiday gift because having a SodaStream means no more lugging, no more disposing, and more room in your refrigerator.
Where?
Refrigerator.
We're back.
The new SodaStream source is fast, easy, and the lighted carbonation indicator gets you the right amount of fizz every single time, every time.
That's good fizz.
It couldn't be easier. Fill a bottle with cold water,
And fizz.
snap it into the machine,
Snap it.
and push a button
And fizz.
to carbonate your choice of flavors. Even lemonade and energy drinks.
Oh, that
Oscar
cold
energy
refreshing
drink.
drink.
Yeah.
That
Actually,
cold
I was
refreshing
thinking
drink.
about this during our show. I said if I had a soda stream, I'd
Yes.
be hydrated.
Wait
Isn't
till
that
you hear
great?
it.
Isn't it great?
It's healthy.
And make your own healthier flavors, too. Now, see, that's what I like. Healthier flavors that you can make without aspartame or high fructose corn syrup.
Exactly.
I know what
Mike.
you'll do something like garlic tomato. That's what you like.
So you can do the healthy stuff as well.
Right, right.
Yes.
No
I
bad
mean,
stuff.
Now I'm all in.
And it's just pure fizz.
And Rob, you know what I can tell you about the machine?
What? I'm all ears.
It's handsome.
Oh, you bet your ass it is.
My
It's a-
parents have one.
It's about the size of a coffee maker, and it comes in different styles and colors. See it at Bed Bath & Beyond, Target, Walmart, Macy's, Kohl's, or visit SodaStream.com to find a store near you. SodaStream, smart, simple soda.
Yay!
Nice.
Now your parents have one, Mark?
They do, yeah.
What?
Marie,
Marie.
I would love a Kohler. Make me a Kohler.
Lloyd. Oh, God. Lloyd, would you bring me a root beer, please?
I don't know. Marie, a little heavy on the fizz, dear.
Lloyd. Lloyd. Lloyd, The Good Wife is coming on. Would you bring me my tab?
Pause the DVR. I'm making Pepsis.
It's like you're in my parents' house.
Isn't it?
God.
Lloyd.
Yes, dear.
Two Broke Girls is coming on. Would you bring me my ginger ale?
I don't care for that program. And besides, I'm making a new flavor. It's called Quarters.
What? Well, I don't get that. What?
They like money.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
you
right.
really forced that in there.
Yeah.
That's the first.
You
That's
took a
your first.
shortcut,
That is your first sign of jet lag. All right. We have
I feel great.
We have a big show today. Lots to talk about, including flying back from Reno. Great. For me, until Dulles Airport.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And then my evening went very, very bad.
That's
You know who you
very
were?
bad, very fast.
You were Sourpuss.
I was Mr. Sourpuss.
Well, a lot of things came together at that moment.
Yes. Also the Sunday night Rob show. That was the night before.
Oh,
we
yeah.
had a Rob show,
boy.
maybe the greatest Rob show ever, and everyone was treated to the Rob show, especially if you were 30, 40 feet away from him in the casino.
Really, anyone who was on a
you-
Circus property. I believe some people at the
Rob
Silver
show.
Legacy heard it. At
quarter
the El
mile.
Dorado.
I will give us a word of sincere thanks to our listeners. My election night pledge, I want to talk about that. Buzz takes all of my Thanksgiving pressure off, and Rob wins the Play in Pain Award for yesterday. Really, you're a better man than me. You are a better man than me.
We do what we can.
But before any of that, ladies and gentlemen, I promised you a major announcement about our show,
that's right,
Whoa,
you did.
and a major announcement for our listeners in Washington, D.C. and Northern Virginia.
Yes.
Parts of Washington, D.C. and Northern Virginia.
Yes.
Select parts of Washington, D.C.
But good parts.
and Northern Virginia.
Well, it's like a magic 8-ball.
The Mike O'Mara Show is returning to terrestrial radio. And I'm not talking about me. I'm talking about this show.
The podcast?
With everybody in here. The
Why
podcast.
why have you not said anything?
Let me just stop.
That isn't going to work
Just stop. Let me read from the press release, which will be released to the press later on today.
That's
Yes,
right.
it will.
Right.
Yes, it will.
Okay. While continuing its highly... What is wrong with me today? While continuing...
Today.
Put
Can't
this back
imagine.
on. While continuing its highly successful podcast, the Mike O'Mara Show returns to broadcast radio in the Washington, D.C., Northern Virginia market on Monday, January 14th, 2013 at 7 p.m.
Yay! Hard to believe, but it's true.
Yes. The 2-hour broadcast will be carried by Metro Broadcasting's WTNT 102.9 FM and part of the year 7:30 a.m.
We'll talk about that when we get there.
Each Monday through Friday under an agreement signed last week. Often the top comedy download on iTunes, The Mike O'Mara Show, has been downloaded more than 16 million times. You know that. And has been heard in 150 countries. The show will continue to be available each weekday at MikeO'MaraShow.com.
Yay.
It features the funny and talented Mr.
Hold it.
Someone else wrote this. It's not like Mike is saying this about himself.
It features the funny and talented Mr. O'Mara. Not today, boys. Along with comic DJ Rob Spiewak, right?
DJ.
Wow.
Popular news analyst Buzz Burbank, and radio's totally unique Oscar Santana.
So they couldn't come up with a title.
All four were last on terrestrial radio.
You can't put that in a news release.
No, you
though.
can't.
All four were last on terrestrial radio 3 years ago at CBS. The success of their podcast was a significant factor in their return to the airwaves, along with the amazing loyalty of their many listeners. Those listeners have, in equally impressive numbers, demonstrated their loyalty by spending heavily with the Mike O'Mara Show advertisers.
Amen to that.
That is true, and we are grateful. One of the show's premier advertisers, Encore Insurance LLC, has agreed to underwrite the broadcast production cost, and for that,
Thank you,
we are
Encore.
delighted.
Bless you, Encore.
Encore.
And Encore will continue to underwrite the show's special projects, including our recent sold-out live show at Circus in Reno. So, folks, in Washington, D.C., 7 to 9. Is that in here?
It is.
That is.
Yeah,
that is.
It's not?
It is. It's at the top.
Yeah, I think
believe
it's back at the
it
top.
says
At
it's
7
o'clock.
p.m. It's a 2-hour show. We will be on 7 to 9 on 102.9 FM.
Take that, Wheel of Fortune face.
Yes, 102.9. a.m. in parts of North Virginia.
Now, Mike, you're being silly. I want you to say that again without your voice dropping out.
Okay. We will be heard. Metro Broadcasting's WTME. 102.9 FM. I can't help it. I have to be real. I have to be real. And yes.
Hey, it's not like we're pumping out music. It's a talk show.
I can't do the BS thing. I can't.
I know.
It's great. We're happy.
Yeah. It's great.
We're delighted.
It's nice.
We do believe that this may be the start of a nationwide attempt to do some syndicating. And what it is for the show, and
some
people
other
here in
stations,
Washington, D.C.,
yeah.
enjoy the podcast. Nothing changes. The podcast is going to be available to you and yours every single day of the week.
Stays the same.
And then we are doing, for the convenience of people here in Washington, much like the convenience of people out at KCJJ, we are doing a 2-hour broadcast in the evening where you will hear that day's podcast.
And we'd love it, as you said, if we could get on other stations around the country, and we hope that comes as things progress.
This is going to be great for senior citizens that like the radio.
Yeah,
they'll enjoy it.
If you just haven't caught up with the technology, you can look at this as a brand new advertising vehicle for the Mike O'Mara Show. We're excited about that. You can look at this as a way to promote our show, our podcast that we have. But it's what I dug my heels in recently with another radio property that wanted to get me up there. And the fact is, it was not doable because I want this show on the radio. I no longer want to play with these radio executives.
No.
And when the opportunity came up to say, man, it'll be your podcast on the radio
As
again,
it
I
is.
said, that's what I've been shooting for all along, and to be back in the D.C. market is very, very exciting.
And this happened, a lot of this came about just when you came back from Haiti, and once again, this is another example of things that are meant to be, Mike.
Before I went to Haiti,
but
we started talking.
But it sort of
Metro.
came together after you came back.
The deal was sealed.
Yeah, and it's sort of like, hey, maybe this is meant to be.
So I would like to thank Metro Vice President and General Manager Dave Houston.
Hi, David.
And his dad, Bruce Houston, who was the first person that reached out to me. Cool. And I was delighted to hear from him. I was actually, my first conversation with Bruce Houston was when I was shopping for a backpack for Haiti in the middle of Cayman.
Amazing.
I remember that.
That's when this went
together.
down. Yeah, it's true. Oscar,
I guess just for the listeners that are listening right now, the show doesn't change.
Right.
Let's be very clear that the podcast will be on the radio, which is exciting for us. But the show that you hear today, well, maybe not today's because today's jet lag Tuesday.
How's that?
But jet lag Tuesday.
He's doing fine.
No, but the show doesn't change. It's core of the podcast. If anything, you might get a little more content.
Yeah, you're going to get a little bit more content, just a little bit.
Just a bit.
We are working out the logistics.
We're cutting the news in the audio vault.
You're probably going to hear,
Not
really. When we say we'll be right back, a lot of you listen on the podcast and you'll hear we'll be right back, and then you hear a musical interlude and I come right back. That's probably going to be a little bit longer. It's going to have to be for technical reasons.
Yeah.
But we're going to work that out, and it's really the core of the show essentially will not change at all.
Not a bit.
It's going to be the same. It's going to be, at this radio station, they have a contract with a news outfit that puts news at the top of the hour. We may position Buzz at a different location, but probably not. We're probably going to keep Buzz exactly where he is.
Keep calling it an outfit. Because it makes you sound 70.
A what?
They're partnered with a news outfit.
Well, have you listened to the other disc jockeys on that radio station?
I have.
Outfit is like a common thing by that.
You know what? The other disc jockeys on that station will benefit from having us on the radio because they don't do a lot of downloading.
No, they don't. No, not at all. But,
Left click?
But they are very good guys. And let me just say, what am I leaving out here? We will probably do an occasional live event at this radio station and maybe out in the Washington, D.C. area. Right. And I'm thinking closer to the weekends it might be. The fact that it's 7 to 9 is a wonderful time to get out and do a live remote. And so look for that to happen around Washington, D.C.
And there's also the occasional chance that we can roll in and do specialty programming on that station. I would love to go in and play records once a month.
Stuff.
I mean,
you never know.
There's never going to be a no set.
This is a very progressive thinking group of people. They are very excited about having this brand on their brand, and you're going to hear probably as soon as the next couple of weeks, you're probably going to hear some promos on that radio station. But remember the date, mark it on your calendar, January 14th. That's a Monday night, Jan 14. That is when the show will debut on WTNT 102.9 FM. And then during the summertime, they have a simulcast with an AM. We call it, in the business, it's called an AM daytimer, which is exactly what it is. When the sun goes down, they got to shut it down.
Right.
Right. So you'll get the Mike O'Mara show also on AM 730 during about 6 months out of the year.
Right.
And that signal is a blowtorch.
Yeah, it's a wonderful signal. And this is our initial time slot. Who knows what the future holds?
Anything can happen.
Anything can happen. But we're really glad to get our foot in the door. And I like the idea of having it on in the evening. Really for us, I was kind of selfish, that we could listen.
Well,
to
you've been in the biz a long time, and Buzz a little bit longer, and you still are never tired of hearing your voice on the radio. It's still the magic of the voice coming out of the radio. I'm dying to hear us on the radio.
It's a small little FM. It's a small signal, and it's a signal that does not cover the entire Washington metro region. It doesn't. That's the
so it's like WJFK.
It's like WJFK.
And would I be out of line if I said to CBS, face?
It is an opportunity for us to do the radio show on our own terms, and we are so excited.
Yeah.
We're not able to do this without Encore Insurance once again.
Yeah.
Love them.
Here's one for CBS real quick.
Whenever I see your smiling
Face.
Thank you very much.
Think that went out to Lanham?
But it's really an exciting opportunity, and Encore, has immediately jumped on board. Many of our advertisers are going to do the same thing.
Please support them.
And we look at the opportunity to get some other business relationships, more local relationships, as this goes on. So remember the date, January 14th. That's a Monday night, 7 o'clock, the Mike O'Mara Show on WTNT. The Truth, that's the name of the radio station, and The Truth will set you free, of
That's
course.
the truth, Ruth.
Now, as far as the questions that I'm going to anticipate, the signal occasionally is not what we would like it to be. Well, that's the reality of the world. We can't control that, and I'm fine
booms
with
at
that.
my house. Come to my house.
That's true, but I mean,
wow.
Hi, I'm Buzz, and it's perfect for me.
but there are many areas where it does just that. Secondly, do we fit with some of the programming? Oh, no, we don't. That's what I like about it, too, because we have been on radio stations with right-wing talk show hosts since I've been doing talk radio. So that's irrelevant. This is an island unto itself, and it's the fun time on WTNT.
Fun starting.
7 o'clock at night is the fun time, Monday through Friday, and we couldn't be more excited about it.
And
It's
isn't
gonna be a lot of
fun the best thing to have?
Fun is the best thing to have, and do you
inclined to
guys
agree.
this came up so suddenly. I know that Oscar and Mark and I went to the meeting with these guys. Do you two have any questions as far as the show is concerned?
We're not getting fired.
Okay.
No,
the opposite.
because the thing is you've said a lot of things that you've never specifically said. Rob, you're staying with the show.
I appreciate you.
Yeah,
clearing that
Rob,
up.
you're definitely staying with the show.
Good. Okay. Good.
The way people consume the show now, someone's probably going to regulate this regardless if they listen to the show or not. But we're still going to record at 11, correct?
Right.
Yes.
We will record at 11. Nothing changes.
Okay.
This is an opportunity to put on the radio the same show we will do here Monday through Friday during the middle of the day.
This show right here.
This will not change the podcast in any way, shape, or form. We've been on a radio station since we've had the podcast, KCJJ in Iowa. They do it a certain way. This actually formatically may result in an expansion for them, but they're going to continue to run the show probably the way they run it.
They've already started retraining Billy Suter. It's going to be fine.
When you talk about our show, when we do it the way we do it now, it adds up to what really with commercial breaks, which would be 3 commercial breaks during the hour, really adds up to adding 7 to 10 minutes more of content on the show a day.
And
that's how we change it. It makes for a 2-hour radio
and
show.
Sometimes not even that. Because there are days when I have to have you wrap it up, then it's the perfect length already.
So that's why originally we started conversations talking about 1 hour, and I immediately was thinking, to really make it perfect, it would be 2 hours. And that's all I want to do. I like the format of a 2-hour show. It makes it
it's very cool. Very cool.
There are probably you kind of brushed by it, and you don't have to get into detail, but can you elaborate a little bit more about how you feel about this show and the opportunities that have been presented to you off the books, like off the record, when you've had offers already that you said, look, this is not really...
Yeah, you said some very nice things.
I'll tell you what I did after CBS, after the Mike O'Mara Show, was replaced by the sports station. I went and took an opportunity, mostly because of finances. They would say, can you bring everybody along? And radio is so tight with money now that I took an opportunity which was just me.
Right.
And really that year, as everybody in this room knows, damn near killed me because just logistically doing it was tough. But I really, the joy that I've had and the joy that I have is working with you guys because that's my entertainment. And, a lot of
You
people...
didn't get that from Shamrock?
He did. Now, stop.
Rob, this is not bridge burning day.
Rob, do you have to... Rob,
what a
do you
dick.
have to... He's such a dick.
Mr. Flamethrower.
It just wasn't...
Love him.
So after that was over, I said, I can't do it again.
Right.
And so...
And you got close. You were in talks occasionally that people would say, what about it? And you would get close and you'd say, you can't do it.
I can say it now because WBAL in Baltimore, and I can go public with this now, gave me an offer. And unfortunately, the offer was not going to allow me to bring everybody up. It was not an offer that was going to allow me to bring me if I wanted to do it.
WBAL gave me an offer, which was go F yourself.
They really did.
They offered that.
They really did.
Let me echo something I know that you have said, and I know you and I, as longtime broadcasters, both believe this right now. We have never had as much fun in our careers or as much satisfaction in our careers as we get from doing this podcast. And that's one of the reasons we're going to keep it just pretty much exactly the way it is.
Yeah, and Buzz and I were riding up, I think, in an escalator having that conversation, just going, this is just really, really, coming off the Reno thing.
This rocks.
It's been a very, very good month. Mark has done a really terrific job, getting some groundwork for this to be a financial reality for us. And so that's going to continue, and this is just a wonderful opportunity. But the most important part of it is that this work that I'm doing right now is the most satisfied I've ever been,
and we're proud
because I can go back and listen to it all the time and just I'll go around the room. I talk about Buzz's kickers on this show. He did one for those of you that didn't see the Reno show. Buzz did a great one out in Reno, the Thank You Florida. That really it doesn't fall out of the sky. He's got to find these, and they're not easy, and it's just great. Then the dynamic that is new to me that has evolved with Rob and Oscar, which just makes me unhinge my jaw
there
every day. And then the last part of the equation, which is the biggest change, where I can get up in the morning and I go to my Facebook page and I get a private message from a listener. I got to give this. I'm going to give this
interaction.
I'm going to give this guy credit because it's a stupid, silly little idea that I poorly executed, but I don't care. It's still a funny idea. And says, hey, there should be a character, Fiscal Cliff, based on Cliff Clavin from Cheers. Right. And I wrote him back. I said that's absolutely.
I wish you would say it the way Eisner would say it. Michael Eisner.
What's that?
He would say a character.
A character.
We should introduce a character.
And really, that is to me. That's just the fun part.
It's the best.
I love the fact that listeners reach out and feel confident enough that and I don't know, it just
sounds funny.
Old school radio, you just hey man, I'm doing the radio show. Don't involve yourself.
And if you have any doubt that we are having a good
Jim
time.
Polvino. Jim Polvino.
He's a good boy.
Hey, Jim Polvino.
Damn it, Jim.
Thank you for that idea for the show that I screwed up.
We have so much fun doing this, and if you doubt it, Mark had a fun trivia game for us on the flight. He said, how long do you think you did on stage at Circus
That's
Circus,
right.
the show?
Yeah.
And you had a timer, and you guessed...
I could have sworn, I was looking at my watch, I thought it was 90 minutes.
I guessed 85 minutes. The answer?
The answer was 2 hours and 3 minutes.
I'm not doing that again. I'm not doing that
And
again.
it went by like a heartbeat.
Yeah.
It is so much fun to do this.
I like the fact that there's no program director for us.
Amen.
No one's telling you what to do.
Right.
If there's
I want Oscar to be our program director.
If there's an advertiser that it doesn't fit with our show, we can always say no.
Right. Yep.
If there's somebody that fits perfectly, we welcome them.
Amen.
It's great.
Amen.
It's like
And
having
gonna
your
be-
own radio station.
And it's going to be fun to get back, because really we all have done that, and to be back in the DC advertising community again
on the radio.
It's going to be a lot of fun for us, and we're looking forward to that. The
It's
show's
an
going to grow.
old-fashioned. It's an old-fashioned city in that respect. In that no matter how many success stories we bring from the podcast, and there are many, there are advertisers that won't touch it because it's not radio.
Yeah.
And
That's about to change.
And that's about to change, and I love that.
And we got an intern request today too.
Oh, good.
Oh, wonderful.
That's,
Mark,
the
take a
second
look
one,
at take a look at the computer.
I hope
top of the.
I hope
top
they're
of the messages.
well qualified. That's the important thing, right, Mike?
I don't care. Top of the. Yeah.
One person?
Okay.
Whoa, says Mark.
And
I
now
bet that
it's-
intern's even prettier than Zoolander.
It's kind of cryptic because it starts out, my boyfriend wants to be an intern, but I wanted to beat him to the punch. It sounds like she wants to be the.
Is it
the
Rennie
intern.
Rude?
No, it's not Rennie Rude.
The non-existent Rennie Rude.
Rennie Rude doesn't exist.
It's a guy, right?
Yeah, no, it's a woman.
want to
No, but it's a
believe.
guy with a woman's.
It's
profile
Ron.
pic.
It's
Rennie Rude.
Ronnie Rude.
Well, I'm
is
in
the
love
real
with him.
name.
So I said I'd pass that along to you, Mark. So
forwarded it.
Okay, good. We'll see.
Andy took a withdrawal out of your checking account.
That is the
Nice
big news.
talking.
I'll say it one more time. 102.9
Yes,
FM.
WTNT.
January 14th, we debut on there, and I guess we got to figure out exactly when the show. Will the show ever be heard in its entirety on the AM signal? I don't think so, right?
I think in the summer it will.
I think it could,
Really?
especially if you're real close to the.
Find out when they sign
the apex of summer.
Find out the
whole
latest,
thing will
how
be.
long they sign off late, and Rob jingles.
You know what? That would be the time to do it.
Well, let's see what happens.
Separator. We might need separators for the commercial spots.
I ain't made of money.
I know.
But I'm excited about it. It's just it's going to be really, really fun.
Yeah.
And Kelly Kuntz, who is the he's the program guy over there, just really very nice. And Dave Houston, the GM, they couldn't be cooler. And I just want to say, boys, it's going to be a pleasure working with you. And really, take some of the deer heads off the wall. Just take a few of the deer heads off the wall.
Then where do we hang our cowboy hats?
I mean, I swear to God, I was just like, I walked in there and said, well, nice offices.
Yeah.
We foresee a wonderful fit.
That no Jews sign that I saw there was a problem too.
You know, and it's funny, we asked him about it, Mark. He said that's from the previous owner. They've been meaning to take it down.
It's like, hello, I'm here to see Mr. Kuntz and Mr. Houston, please.
Yeah.
Where are they?
They're on the range.
Do you know where they are? I think they're going to be down here in a little bit. I'm not sure what they're doing right now. They're out of here going. I want some more. Can I get some more guns?
Sure.
Isolate that one. I want to get more guns.
You got it, baby.
Can you put them anywhere you want?
Okay.
As a matter of fact,
hey.
as a matter of fact, this little machine here. You know what? Here's a new thing. I'm starting a new thing.
I love a new thing.
We love
I'm
that.
starting this today.
Okay.
This is your domain.
Okay.
What? You make this yours.
Okay.
And put whatever. I don't care.
Do
I
it the
will,
way
I will
you
not,
think it ought to
I
be
will
done.
not give you crap.
All right.
You know there are a few.
Wow.
There
Boy,
are
you are sleep deprived.
no. There are a few music beds. You know the ones to
Yeah.
keep.
Yeah.
You know better than I do.
Yeah.
The ones
Freshen
to
it up.
keep. Just freshen it up.
That'd
You
be
got it,
awesome.
Daddy.
You go ahead and do that. So, any other questions? Anyone, class?
No,
Anyone?
I'd be up to
sir.
speed.
January
Yes,
14th, 102.9.
It's going to be excited. And our friend at Encore, our
John.
contact, John, just
We
wanted
met
to
him,
say,
yeah.
John, we met you. It was a pleasure.
So
And,
much fun to have him backstage.
Nice to have them as
Great
the
guy.
premier sponsor.
Great family.
for the show.
That's right.
How it all works out, we're still in the get-go stages of that. We're still getting that worked out.
Hey, man,
but
we're
it's gonna
working
be
it
fun.
out.
It's really going to be fun. And the really neat thing about this is they've got another studio over there that we can play with anytime.
Yay.
That's beautiful.
Fun. All right, so that's it. We'll take a break. When we come back, it's Reno, it's Rob, it's Buzz, it's Oscar, it's everybody. Excuse me.
Oh, wow.
We'll be right back, ladies and gentlemen. Just got done talking about them. Our second segment is brought to you today by Encore Insurance Services, LLC. Wonderful folks that sponsored our live stage show out in Reno. Even if you already have life insurance, you know what Oscar did. Oscar got himself involved with Encore. All he did was dial this number up, 866-347-5748. He got a quote, and lo and behold, he knew how much money he could save, and you are insured, my friend.
I dodged a bullet this weekend. If it was curtains, someone was getting paid off, and I felt okay by it.
Sure looked like
Curtains for some bios.
That approach to Dulles Airport last night sure looked like something might be going down.
Peace of mind.
Jesus, and then we got off the plane. We realized, this is the weather we flew into.
Yeah.
I'm so glad I didn't look at an advanced weather forecast.
Yeah.
It's sometimes when I fly into weather like
Ignorance is
this,
bliss.
it's nice just not to know.
Yeah.
But boy, when you talk about a big jet like the one we were on, one of those big 737s,
Gorgeous.
and man, it's just getting tossed all over the place.
It's funny to watch you. I was right behind you. It's funny to watch your body language from the rear when the plane starts to shimmy and shake.
And I press my face up against the window.
You really are. You're going to have a white dot on your head from window pressure, and also you are flipping channels like a crazy man looking for stuff on television. You had to get away from the natural.
So call 866-347-5748 or smartterm.com. That's SMARTTERM. Use the 2 T's.com. They'll compare the rates and help you save. Licensing and disclaimer info at smartterm.com.
Right.
We're very, very grateful to Encore.
Encore.
Glad to have them along with us right now. Where do we begin? Let's go backwards to to the show itself.
Okay.
Flying back from Reno, I have to get this story out of the way. Let me tell you about it was a great trip.
Great.
It was.
I loved the flights were good. Everything was on
A lot
time.
of the flights were good.
We, Carla and I started to dip into the Bloody Marys on the first flight, and we had a connection in Denver, Colorado. Could not have been more smooth.
Right.
Outside of the Reno to Denver flight with the screaming child,
Oh, yes.
which was the screaming child that I've never heard a screaming
No, I
child.
thought that was Oscar. That was a kid.
It was really a seamless travel experience
And everyone was on time.
until Captain Bitchy, who is me,
Yes. Oh, I didn't realize you made captain. Congratulations.
landed in Dulles, and it just hit home. I guess the friendliness of being out west, the simplicity of, everybody we came in contact with being kind of laid back.
Do you
and
think
whatever.
some of it was the fact that we were also realizing that this weekend is over now? It was a great weekend,
it's a
and we had reached
letdown.
the end of it. Yeah.
And it's a pain in the ass to that travel. It's a long travel day.
And it seems longer coming back.
And then, so we landed Dulles, and there's some asshat on the plane that's just yammering about he meant
he
well.
might
He
have-
meant well, but he'd had a few drinks.
Yeah,
and
I think he was-
being
God, and you
kind
guys,
of-
you guys were saints.
I was
dealing
trying
with
to, I was trying to cope with him, but yeah, I could see there was a certain level of dickishness.
I think he might have been in a vodka contest with you and the missus, Mike.
Well, he may have been, but
I think you're great. You're on the radio.
but I will tell you,
you're great.
we begin to walk down the gate after getting off after deplaning, as they say, and that's when Captain Bitch came out.
I saw him arrive.
Can I just add something?
Yes, go right ahead.
These are the many faces of Mike O'Mara.
Oh no, I hate it when you preface anything with that.
We bitch and moan for 3 years how people still don't know we do the podcast.
Right.
Yes.
And how we're looking for vehicles to let them know.
Yes.
There's actually a guy who recognizes Rob's bald head.
Right.
And then turns and says, "Where are you guys?" And what you've wanted for 3 years is happening naturally in front of you.
But
Yes, it is.
in Mike's defense, he was, you guys know Howard Stern? It was one of those deals.
I used to listen to you and Howard. It was great. You got to be a fan of his, right?
And I'm in front of Buzz and Rob, and I'm listening to this, and it's that 10 hours to get off this plane.
Yeah,
As this is going on, I'm sitting up there next to Carla, and I'm going,
And add to that, we've had that horrible approach, and the flight conservatively 85 degrees in the plane.
Oh,
What
yeah.
is
Yeah.
what is the that was every plane. Hey,
Yes.
hey, United, we're not. Why do you microwave your goddamn passengers?
They should call Mike Lucas.
Jesus, it was ridiculous. So, what's the movie with John Lithgow looking out on the wing?
Oh, that's the Twilight Zone movie.
That's what we flew through.
Right.
Yeah, it really
Yes.
was.
That's what we flew through with, where I'm just looking. It's like, why is it so bright outside? Well, it's the headlights. That's what I call them. It's the headlights on the plane reflecting off the solid bank of clouds
Yeah.
that
It
were
was
flying through.
thick.
Torrential rain that we ended up driving home through, but
Yeah.
first we had to fly through it.
It was a little dicey, and not really dicey. It was because it wasn't scary. The guy got us on the ground. And it was a
No
great job.
storm or
Well, the
I
United
would-
pilots are pretty
I'd
good.
call it every bit dicey.
It was dicey
It
to
was
you.
dicey.
So I get this guy, and he's going, and Buzz and Rob are handling the guy, no problem at all. I begin Captain Bitch right when I'm walking down the concourse at Dulles, because here we go with the fascinating new train system that still results in a 7-mile walk to get to where, which it is.
Yeah,
The greatest,
it's true.
I think the
It's
greatest
a boondoggle.
The reason you made captain last night is when we were on the moving sidewalk, after you get onto the train,
Yeah, walk us through. You get off the plane.
get off the plane, then you have to walk 30 gates to get onto you have to go down another escalator.
Yeah, now listen, he's not exaggerating.
No.
and
not
then
at
you
all.
walk, I would say, about a quarter mile.
Right.
And I'm not trying to be comical, because that's not what I do.
This
you go
is-
about a quarter, and you're walking through a plain, white, sterile, it looks like a Kubrick movie.
And what it
And you
is,
get to a solitary moving sidewalk.
and this is after they have installed these state-of-the-art
High-speed trains.
underground high-speed trains that are specifically designed to get people to their planes and get people off their
But
planes.
it's a mile away.
And the moving sidewalks. Let's say a given hallway is 2 blocks long. The moving sidewalk's about a block and a half.
Yeah.
Right. So you still got. It's not that we're not capable, but if you're going to put in a moving sidewalk, why not make one that reaches?
So, so Mike
it's
is
like
on
everything they've done is a mistake.
Right.
Yeah, welcome to John Foster Half-Ass National Airport. So you get on
Dulles
the moving,
Airport.
You get on the sidewalk and you say loud enough because you're in this white, sterile science fiction environment,
Yeah, I was very
devoid of
difficult.
decoration.
I apologize.
It's echoey.
I was
and
not
Mike
a good
declares,
person to be with.
well, 2 effing miles to the train.
It's true.
And it bounced back. And it's 2 effing miles to the train, to the train, to the train, to the train.
I was so unhappy.
And I made an involuntary, do you know when you pull your bottom lip in and it's a yikes face?
Yes.
It's like, and I said, that was kind of loud. And then it got better from there.
I wasn't happy. I was not happy. And at
You
this
were not.
point, Carla begins to
You were stick your beard hair out, man.
move away from Captain Bitch because I just was not in a good way. We get over to get the parking. We meet the parking attendant, and my one luxury. This is the big secret at Dulles. If you go out to Dulles,
I was shocked to hear this.
you're going to pay in some cases less money if you put it in the valet lot than you will if you put it in the daily lot.
We were there 4 days. You only paid $12 more.
I paid
And I was in
$12 more.
Daily Lot 2, which I believe is in Paris, Texas.
Yes.
It's still not as good as if you park in the economy lot, but really you're going to pay about in my case maybe $30 more.
And then you've got to ride another shuttle.
And and you're right there at the airport. So I've always done. So
What's
we go.
what's the total cost?
Total cost for the 4 days
days?
was $80.
Oh, yeah.
wow.
That's like $12 more than I
Isn't-
paid.
but aren't we DC? We go, oh, isn't that great?
That's a bargain.
Yeah,
But
right.
it still sucks.
I
because
paid
we're back,
$62.
We're back in
Yeah.
the line. We're back in the land of everything is insanely
Right.
expensive.
And you only
But-
had to pay Haiti ball.
But the guy, so Carla at this point is walking like 10 feet in front of me
Yeah, I noticed
because she
that.
just doesn't want to be near me. And we'd been hand in hand most of the trip, and
Yes.
now she's like in front of me, and
Why?
I
Because
go
you're so negative?
I go to the counter, and I am
This is at valet parking?
I'm beyond. It's not just negative; it's negative, and just I'd hate to be around it. I don't like being around me when I'm
Cranky,
like that.
openly cranky.
So we go into the valet parking area, and note to anyone that might be traveling to John Foster Dulles International Airport,
Yes.
welcome to our cabs, our baggage handlers, and this is a
It's so funny you're
fraternity
speaking-
from a particular region of the world. It's been like that as long as I can remember.
Yes.
There is a Middle Eastern dominated contingent, especially, and it used to be at the valet, it's always been at the valet parking. And let me articulate this in as nice a way as I can.
And be clear, because this music is very mysterious.
Yeah.
I don't want you to leave anything, half said.
The individuals that I have encountered at this valet counter have, over the years, shall we say, been prickly.
Really?
That is
Let's
such a
just say-
well-chosen word for that.
Let's just say you are never going to experience any type of customer service warmth
Or humor.
or decency. It's nasty. They've always been nasty, and they're so we get to the counter, and Carla is at this point mistakenly standing next to me, and I am just like,
Yeah.
and I go in, to the counter, and
We never get this deep
No, I
into this
love
music bed.
he greets me with, "AD." Excuse me? ID. Like that. And I'm like, oh, okay, Mr. Pleasant. And I take my ID out, and, he gets the keys, gives me the keys, then he rings it up, and he goes, $50. And I said, $50? $50. I said, I'm sorry, sir, 50? He said, $80. Oh, $80.
Ah.
You know what? He should have
And-
said ID dollars. That's closer than $80.
And at this point, I'm like, oh, well, thank you for your kindness. And
Yeah.
I put my credit card back in like this, and that was Carla's tipping point. And she
So
said,
she was mad because you were
she
mad
just
with the
hated
guy
me
behind
being,
the counter.
she hated me being Captain Bitch.
Okay.
And when she reached critical mass to the point where I was given an invitation to take a cab home from Dulles.
Oh, boy.
Now, the invitation, and I know this about Carla, the invitation was certainly not intended to stick, but because Captain Bitch
You
was,
grabbed onto it
was
because that's how you
feeling
made
indignant,
captain. Yeah.
I'm
In
like,
the mood.
well, I'm gonna take a cab.
Uh-huh.
And that's when Rob saw me
Yeah, this is
in
like-
the pouring rain.
This is like Pulp Fiction, where you see the same story from different. What I saw
Pounding
is
rain.
the very moment the tip of my shoe touched pavement outside the airport, the skies opened up, and I
Yes.
knew that in a short 50 minutes my shuttle bus would arrive.
Yeah.
So I'm standing kind of undercover, and I see Mike taking the longest strides I've ever seen him take, walking back into the airport. I said, "Are you okay?" And
And
he
then-
says, Fine!
I said, fine.
Take a cab!
Took a cab home. Carla got my car with Carla in it, her car, arrived at the house at the exact same time.
Wow.
She left the trunk open and looked at me and said, your bag's in the car. I left it in there. I said, okay.
Really
I
a pleasant,
grabbed
and it was such a pleasant ride home last night.
And then she slept on the second level of the home, and I slept on the first level.
Oh, that's
and then
unfortunate.
but I knew that I'd been bad.
But
I
it's
knew
good
that
to
I
be-
had been a bad boy, and I apologized to her profusely this morning because I said it's it's the worst thing to say when you say it was my fault.
Were you playing this music when you were apologizing?
Blessing in disguise, though, because after being at Dulles, the last thing you wanted to do was climb more steps.
It's Dulles. It's just I hate it.
It's the worst.
I hate it. Hate
It's
it.
not
hate it.
quite
hate it,
right.
Hate it. It's
Never
not.
has been.
Right.
Never has been.
And they made this big deal about the new security system and the new tram that they have, and it's all new and it all still sucks.
Yep.
Yeah, sadly
they
it
take. I've said this before, and I'm doing it again. Sorry, Carla, don't listen to this. They take the security.
I think you're pretty safe there today.
You go
Mike.
down another 12-mile escalator because they dug a lot.
Yes.
They dug a lot.
Yeah.
Deep,
And
deep.
they did a lot of digging.
They did.
I mean, they did 30 years worth of digging.
There were jobs there.
And you have 27, count them, 27 security checkpoints.
You have time to count them, too.
You would think that would make people fly through that.
You would think.
But here's where they got even more brilliant. With the 27 security checkpoints, the main areas are only 2.
That's right.
So what I'm saying is in front of you are 27 tables, 27 metal detectors.
27 stacks of bins.
It's the 27
Think
stacks
funnel.
of bins.
Yeah.
And you say, okay, well then you'll have, people check in with that, but they decided to get out of their 27 little security checkpoint areas, they have 2 people that actually process you to get you through.
And do you know how they give the job to the 2 people? They find the 2 fattest women.
And slowest.
That's right. And they have to be, and I had a great moment because I don't know why.
Well-
It's been years since I've gotten a cardboard movie ticket for an airplane. You know, the boarding pass
yeah,
that's
yeah.
actually, because now it's like on fax paper.
Right.
And we checked
Exactly, it's well described. That's
we
what it
checked
is.
in at the kiosk, and for some reason, this one was spitting out cardboard tickets like they did 20 years ago. And I handed one to security after the long wait, and she said to her supervisor, "How do you do these?"
Wow.
And the supervisor comes over and says, "Well, I've not seen one of those." And really, it's just the same. It's just on another kind of paper, and they literally scratched their heads.
These are people who couldn't cut it at valet parking.
That's right. Well, they're not prickly enough.
It's a miserable place to fly out of. It
Yeah.
really is, and it's home.
And arrive.
So welcome back.
Yeah, welcome back.
So a
Great to
public,
be back home.
apology to your wife.
Thank you, Oscar.
Yes.
Thanks for reminding me of that. We didn't get to anything I wanted to talk about today. We didn't get to Reno. We didn't get to you and the Rob Show. We're going to have to do that tomorrow.
That's
We
fine.
got a week to do.
And we're gonna have
Maybe
to
I'll
get
be
to
in
Buzz.
bed.
Buzz, you had...
I had a series of wardrobe calamities that I thought folks might find amusing, but it's not pressing either.
We'll get to that tomorrow, and you.
I had a great time.
You're just you. I had a very tender, sweet moment with my beloved on Saturday night, with Sunday night.
Sometimes twice.
With us. Yes, we had a threesome. It was really, really amazing. Made me feel so inadequate.
Buried the
It's a
lead.
Bolivian thing. We'll take a break, come back with the audio vault right after this. I love this song.
Spirit of Radio by Rush.
Who doesn't like Rush? Welcome back to the Mike O'Mara Show. We are delighted to have you with us. The Magic Audio Vault for Mr. Spiewak is brought to you by TwizGrid. Do we get a lot of pictures up on TwizGrid
Yes,
for the show?
we put up a bunch. I actually even have more to put up
That's
today.
good.
Still to come.
TwizGrid is a free app for your iPad or iPhone that displays Twitter photos in a user-friendly format. TwizGrid, we are grateful that they sponsored us in Reno. You don't have to have a Twitter account to see the pictures. If you do have one, you can still comment on our photos, right?
Right.
If you don't have one, you can look. If you do have one, you can comment.
Very good. TwizGrid, TWIZGRID. Find it in the App Store or click the ad on our website. And from the United Airlines style warmth of the living room studio, Mark, did you, really crank it?
I gave you the
got
remote right in front of
you
right
got
behind your glass.
The remote-controlled thermostat. Right
Buzz, you
there.
seem troubled. Is all well?
No, all is well.
Okay, you grabbed your nose as if your head hurt.
No, I was concerned that I hadn't updated the TwizGrid copy.
But I think it's fine.
But Mike rolled with it professionally.
There you go, because I'm a pro.
That's right.
All
Look
right,
it
here's
up.
the problem.
He made a yikes face.
I
Gotta
did.
put the
Yes, I
snowflake
did.
on.
So
That's
then
how
now
you
we're gonna
get
get
the
some
air
AC.
on.
You had the sun on.
That's code. Isn't that code for the wife?
Snowflake.
Put the snowflake on. Yeah,
Hold
baby.
on, now I'm going to fix it for you.
Yeah, here comes the cool air.
If it
Feel
ain't broke.
Tell me if you feel that.
I hear it.
I feel it already.
Ooh.
I feel it.
Oh, nice.
Got to chill.
It's coming.
All right, thank you very much.
So great to be back at home. And you know what? One of the hardest things about Reno is they've got a different time for everything. Mike?
What is that?
It's the air conditioner.
Oh.
I'm just screwing around. I'm sorry, what?
I missed the Today Show because the Today Show doesn't come on until like 11 o'clock out there because of the time difference.
Right.
So I was very pleased to pop my television on at 7 and hear the Today Show have another legendary, great NBC audio day. Not altered. This is how the Today Show began this morning.
Tuesday, November 13th, 2012.
Oh, dear.
Oh. From NBC News. From NBC News. From NBC News. This is Today with Matt Lauer and Savannah Guthrie.
And actually, Matt and Savannah rolled with it okay.
In Rockefeller Plaza.
Listen, they do okay with it.
And good morning. Even the audio guy is excited this morning about our concert on the plaza. Just wants to say it 3 times. We have One Direction here. It is huge, and we do mean huge.
And I just want to say I'm Matt Lauer.
But the thing, I don't know how, what would happen.
Their audio is the worst in the business.
It always has been.
It is so horrible.
And
It's
I
terrible.
don't know what would cause the fact for the tape to start 3 times. I do know that at the front, something that was recording was potted up. And that's how you get that sort of internal feedback. But I don't know how you could run this as the Today Show 3 times.
They've always had an impossible time mixing
Muddy,
their music
yeah.
and the announcers, and it's just ridiculous.
By the way, there's breaking news about the Today Show. The guy who's been running it in recent years, the vice president
Jim Bell?
of NBC News, he's out. His ass is canned.
And you know what?
Because
he might want to send a muffin basket to Matt Lauer, because Matt Lauer's been the one that's been bitching the most.
Well, and that and the fact that the Today Show has fallen consistently now behind Good Morning America for the first time in 16 years.
And rightly so.
Right.
As somebody who has made the switch and watches both shows now, I still watch the Today Show, but I spend more time with Good Morning America. It's just more on top of what we all want to talk about.
Well, look for changes on Today. Then.
Okay, good.
Feel bad. The one thing we did our travel day yesterday, we did not get a chance to say Happy Veterans Day, and I know we're all related to veterans.
I didn't say happy birthday to the Marine Corps over the weekend either.
Yeah.
It was the birthday of the Marine
Saturday.
Corps. Should have said that.
And I enjoyed this montage. It features, this is sort of like the cavalcade, was it Parade of Presidents that we did?
Yes.
Except this is really presidents talking about our veterans. So.
Veterans of the blue and the gray.
FDR.
I accept this monument in the spirit of brotherhood and peace.
There can be no greater service to our country and no source of pride
JFK.
more real.
Today, Veterans Day, as we do every year,
Ronald Reagan.
we take that moment to embrace the gentle heroes of Vietnam and of all our wars.
As our forces fight, they and their families are in our prayers.
George Bush
The brave
Sr.
Americans serving our nation today in the Persian Gulf, in Somalia, and wherever else they stand are testament to our resolve.
They deserve to know that their elected leaders who voted to send them to war continue to stand behind them.
W.
So thank you for your service and your sacrifice.
Barack Obama.
That guy.
One thing very cool about Carrie is, she's not a blood relative to Big Daddy, but she grew to love him very much. And for Veterans Day, she found a picture of Big Daddy that I had never seen of him serving when he was in France. It was very, very cool. So thank you to all our veterans.
Thanks
now,
to my dad, who served in the South Pacific in World War II.
You heard in that montage our President Clinton.
Yeah,
and
right.
Bono last night was at Georgetown University speaking, and I wouldn't think Bono would be a big impression guy.
Oh, really? Oh, he's Irish. He's got to be a big
And he hangs with Clinton.
You can't be Irish and not make fun of people like that.
You know what? I think your job is safe, Mike, but Bono does a pretty good job here.
If Bill Clinton was here at his alma mater. Well, I just get him to make the speech, actually. I just get, the secretary of explaining stuff, because he is just more of a rock star than I'll ever be. I just want to thank Bono here.
Not that.
I want to thank Bono here. I want to thank Bono for stepping away from the microphone. I mean, the one campaign. It might be the one thing all of us can agree on. Dude.
But anyway, that was Bono at Georgetown University. I like that. Barbara Walters is pissed at Lindsay Lohan because they were going to film a 2-part interview for 2020, and then Lindsay Lohan said, "I can't do the second part. I don't feel up to it," and then went and did Leno. And bad enough to blow off Barbara Walters.
No, that's the ultimate.
Yeah.
But when you go to another, I mean, and she's vindictive.
Yeah.
And,
her judgment's always been good before.
I know. I want you to hear a clip from the first part that they did tape. Lindsay Lohan sounds good.
You had a few problems while this was being...
Yes, it was a lot of hours, but it's also my first...
That was all of us Sunday morning at Circus Circus.
I'm back, and I don't want to have any reason. I want to keep working, and if I'm on set and I'm here, I want to keep going, and I like that. I'm a survivor, so.
Yeah, she's a survivor for now. But anyway, she doesn't sound well, but I hope she had a good time with Jay Leno.
Wow.
Big, and I just indulge me for 30 seconds.
Right.
Big Elvis news. It drops this week. It's a new release called Prince from Another Planet. RCA found a person who saw Elvis at Madison Square Garden in 1972. They didn't know this existed. They filmed the entire concert on Super 8 film, and they're putting out a DVD with remastered sound of the actual footage. One of the greatest concerts of Elvis's career.
Mike? What did you think of that flight?
Oh, I'm sorry, I wasn't paying attention.
Yeah.
Come back to us, Mike.
I'm sorry.
Come back to us.
It was
So somebody
bumpy.
had...
It was a little bumpy.
Entirely remastered. Don't help.
Somebody had a
Don't you
handy cam
help.
out?
Yeah, they.
It's awesome.
But they found an entire recording of the concert on Super 8, and they're releasing it on DVD. And for Elvis fans, this is great.
I just released something.
But Elvis sounded great. And about 50,000 people messaged me this on Facebook this weekend. But anyway, this is in stores.
Are you
this
cold
week.
now, Oscar?
I'm chilly.
So this is a live recording?
Yes, it's his legendary Madison Square Garden concert. He only played in New York City one concert. A couple of concerts at one venue because it was too expensive to book there.
Oh, really?
But he wanted to play New York once, so he did in 1972.
That's all right.
And the fact that they found a film of it is amazing. So it's a big news for Elvis fans. So thank you. We're done now. Now,
and didn't you get an Elvis record out in Reno? Somebody gave you that?
Susan gave me a...
Who's Susan?
Susan Austin.
Susan Austin.
She was the one who, in order to make fun of one of the dealers I dealt with on my 8-hour jaunt to the casino, she drew eyebrows on her forehead like the dealer.
That's the funny lady.
That's very nice.
Okay, she's very funny.
You're a big fan, I know, of Grover Norquist.
Oh, I hate that guy.
He has analyzed the reason that Obama won.
Okay, now listen.
Listen.
This is the biggest a-hole in all of politics, in my humble opinion.
And that's saying a lot.
This is the guy who got a lot of Republicans, if not all of them in Congress,
all of them,
to sign an agreement to never raise taxes, even if the planet catches on fire.
This is a lobbyist, basically. Mm-hmm. That's all he is, and he's that powerful because he came up with this evil plan to say, no matter what the circumstances, war, famine, whatever it is,
invasion.
You can never, ever raise taxes, even if your country's future depends on it.
Right.
And his name is Grover Norquist, and I want you to hear the sound of a pure a-hole.
But he has analyzed, and we'll explain to you why Obama won.
The president was committed, elected on the basis that he was not Romney and that Romney was a poopy head, and you should vote against Romney.
Once again, let's go to the meat of that comment.
Romney was a poopy head.
So, I mean, really, that's what he's saying. And we really, this is a pundit.
And it really should be pointed out that
Romney was a poopy head.
These legislators line up to kiss this guy's ass.
Yeah,
they are so afraid of him.
They are
so afraid of him because he has this one tax pledge deal. And, it's really one of the reasons we've had the gridlock, and we may have the fiscal cliff as well.
Romney was a poopy head.
Right.
I won't play the tape because it's a little dry, but I will ask you to guess. QVC, the television shopping channel, 50 Cent, he's a rap singer, Mike, a hip-hop artist. And he was on, and he was selling his headphones. How much money do you think he made in one 9-minute appearance on QVC? 9 minutes.
I'm going to say maybe $900,000.
He made $177,000.
I'm sorry, I know I hate it when I do that.
But still, not bad.
Let's go back.
I didn't come to rehearsal today. What I'm going to do is I want to give a separator.
Okay, here we go.
Romney was a poopy head.
Now, how much money do you think a rap singer 50 Cent made in 9 minutes on QVC?
Only 9 minutes?
Just 9 minutes.
Oh, man, maybe a dollar?
Mike, he made $250 billion.
Whoa! That's a show.
You love Homeland. You really do.
I do.
And one of the stars...
I haven't caught up yet. I got to watch Homeland.
Damian Lewis
yes.
Was being interviewed, and it has been revealed, I guess, a few weeks ago, 5 weeks ago or so, that
British guy with an American accent.
That Obama's favorite show is Homeland.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And so they were going to autograph a box set and send it to the president. And this is what he wrote on Obama's box set.
I had to sign a box set of Homeland. Claire Danes had written something really lovely and sweet saying, I was a fan of yours long before you were a fan of ours. I thought, God, that's really stylish.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. And I thought, God, think of something great and
something
funny.
Classy.
Something classy. And I went from one Muslim to another.
Great. Yeah.
In an indelible Sharpie. I couldn't take it back. I was then writing emails for the whole of the next week going, I do hope he understands irony.
I know we all missed Saturday Night Live because we were live at that time.
Yeah,
These are some of the better jokes from Weekend Update. I like the last one the best.
According to poll data, President Obama's victory on Tuesday was due largely to his popularity with both college students and the unemployed. So basically, Obama became president the same way Budweiser became the king of beers. CIA Director General David Petraeus resigned Friday after it was revealed he was having an affair with the woman who wrote his biography, All In. Of course, when they first started working on the book, it was called Just the Tip. A manufacturer of clothes for infants has created a new outfit that has mops on the arms and legs so that babies can clean the floor as they move around the house. It's great if you've ever wondered, how can I get all this dirt and bacteria off the floor and onto my baby?
And we mentioned David Petraeus there. I know that it's a very confusing story, and Buzz will help us figure it out.
I hope.
And I close with Letterman's take on the Petraeus scandal.
How about that CIA Director General Petraeus? Yeah, how about that? Well, allegedly had an affair with his biographer, which means from now on he'll only be having sex with his autobiographer.
That is your magic audio vault.
We will take a break, come back with Buzz and news on the Mike O'Mara Show right after this. Welcome back to MikeO'MaraShow.com. If you are joining the show late, where the hell you been? What's going on here? You missed the major announcement
Does that
today.
happen with podcasts?
I have no idea. I just wanted to say it again that we are going to be starting January 14th, 7 to 9 every night. You're going to hear this podcast rebroadcast on WTNT 102.9 FM and part of the year on their daytime signal, AM 730. WTNT The Truth, we are delighted to be associated with them, and we start January 14th back on terrestrial radio here in Washington, D.C. And now, without further ado, let's get right to it. Mr. Buzz Burbank and the news. Yes, Rob.
When we're doing the AM thing in the summertime, can we go old school and call it AM 73?
AM 73.
We can do whatever we want, right?
I guess we can. Yeah.
Charlie Warren. The news today is brought to you by the Mike O'Mara Show's Amazon page. Make this your easiest holiday shopping season ever. From toys to clothing to the Kindle Fire, our Amazon page saves you money and supports the show.
Mike, don't you think
I'm not doing a sight gag.
No, you're not.
My ears are hot.
But don't you think that every girl and boy would like a toy?
Every girl and boy likes a toy.
And you can get gift wrapping and gift cards there, too. And Amazon will do the shipping for you. There is no better way to help yourself and this show than doing your holiday shopping and all your shopping through the Amazon link at MikeO'MaraShow.com. Bookmark that sucker now so it's handy every time you need it.
Who am I? I'm Dennis Hopper in Waterworld.
I'm going to hand this to Mark.
Yes, sir.
What the hell is the deal with this Petraeus story? Who are these people, and what does any of this mean? We were initially so confused by it all, we had to draw a chart and work from that. I want Mark to hold up the chart for the camera.
Yeah, I'll do that for you.
You won't be able to read it, but you'll be able to see how convoluted this story is and what I felt I needed to do in order to write it in a way that you could sort of understand what was going on.
True or false? This story almost brought you to tears.
It did, because I'm supposed to be the news guy, and I was lost. I couldn't make heads or tails of it. Well, fortunately, I've done the research, I've drawn the chart, I've figured it out, and I'm going to try to help you figure it out, too.
Who are these people?
And it might be fun, so let's give it a shot.
Okay.
All the arrows on that chart point to a stunning brunette named Jill Kelly. Jill doesn't work for the government, but she's kind of a social director at MacDill Air Force Base in Florida and a family friend of Mr. and Mrs. Petraeus.
Yeah, I guess she is.
Jill's married, but other men don't seem
What's
to care.
her name again? Jill Kelly?
Jill Kelly, Kelley.
Pain in the ass.
She's married, but other men don't seem to care. That's just how hot she is, and it appears she knows the power she has over men, but she is not the woman who had the affair with Petraeus. I told you, it's complicated. But Paula Broadwell, the biographer who did have an affair with Petraeus, thought that Jill was messing around with him.
She ain't all that.
And sent a series of threatening emails to Jill. Oh, the picture I saw of her, I thought she was stunning. Yeah. The other women in the story, not so much, but I thought Jill was pretty hot.
Well, I think
she looks like if she didn't tweeze, she'd have a unibrow.
I know that General Petraeus is really hot.
Is she? She's very. She's Middle Eastern looking, is she not?
Yeah.
Is that the Jill Kelly we're talking about?
I hope so.
Because you hear the name Kelly, expect it to be a nice Irish girl.
Is she wearing yellow in that picture?
Yes.
Yeah, well, I found her to be very attractive.
She says, hello, come sit next to me, you fine fellow.
So Paula, the biographer, who was with Petraeus.
She is?
The
biographer.
She thought this Jill Kelly person was also messing around with Petraeus.
So the biographer was already in a relationship with General Petraeus.
Right, exactly.
So she got jealous.
And yeah, she did, because she thought Jill was messing around with him, so Paula sent Jill a series of threatening emails.
Paula did?
Yeah.
Paula Broadwell?
Right, exactly.
Now, Paula Broadwell's a piece of ass.
Yeah. Really? Now, see, I didn't like her as much as I like Jill.
So the mistress got jealous and thought that he had another queen.
She's not all that, but she's not unattractive.
But he did know that Broadwell.
Right, I agree there.
I mean, this is both of them right here.
Right, exactly, side by side.
Well, you should look up Mrs. Petraeus and see what's better.
Yeah. Mrs. Petraeus.
Kind of think I know how that's going to go.
Kind of like looking in a mirror, David.
It's whatever you think, it's probably true.
I wonder if she combs her hair as low down on the side as General does.
But wait, there's more.
Wait.
Biographer Paula Broadwell, also married, naturally exchanged a lot of emails with General Petraeus, who ran the CIA up until he resigned on Friday. The FBI's been looking into those emails to see if he might have carelessly given away any national security secrets. But the FBI has a lot of emails to sift through because the general's married friend, General John Allen, had the hots for Jill Kelly, and the two of them exchanged tens of thousands of emails, which have been described as inappropriate.
Wow. You know, it's got to be pointed out that since the days of, before Eisenhower, these are men who can be perhaps considered for the highest political office.
And in fact
these
were.
high-ranking military officers.
Right. And one of the FBI agents who was looking into all this also got the hots for Jill Kelly and sent her pictures of himself shirtless. The FBI agent.
Jesus.
That
Who
agent.
does he think he is? Paul Ryan?
That agent.
She has a magic vagine.
Apparently so. Well, I mean, apparently everywhere she walks, men just start following her around.
I suppose if I saw her up close, she's got a pretty decent rack.
I'm not sure it's magic, Mike. I'm not sure it's magic, but it's great at making things disappear.
So this FBI agent, who's described as being obsessed with the case, has now been taken off the case. We don't know if he's married, but everyone else in this story is.
And these women are attracted, obviously, to power.
They like power. And all the men in the story seem to be attracted to Jill Kelly. So as you can see, all the arrows on my chart, as I said at the beginning, end up pointing at Jill. Everybody's connected to her ultimately, even though she's not the woman Petraeus had the affair with.
Right.
So as you can see, Jill got a lot of emails. She got the sexy ones from General Allen, the threatening ones from Petraeus' lover Paula Broadwell, and the sexy/strange ones from the FBI agent.
She still hasn't accepted my friend request.
It all gets back to that piece of ass, as most good stories do. Now, as we indicated, there are questions about the safety of our national secrets. There are questions about what government officials knew and when they knew it. There are even questions about what the FBI knew and when and why they didn't share this information sooner with the White House and Congress. Some members of Congress are mightily pissed about this. The Pentagon is now investigating along with the FBI, and all of this weirdness is important, not only because Petraeus was our CIA chief, but because he now has to testify about the attack on our embassy in Benghazi, and now very little, he says, will be trusted.
I bet she's a bitch on wheels.
And his
Jill Kelly?
Yeah, gotta be. To cause all this trouble?
And his buddy, General John Allen, is our top commander in Afghanistan. Allen was the one who sent all the emails to Jill. He was about to become the top NATO commander in Europe. He sure won't be now. And that's the story.
They are the generals.
I have a picture of Mrs. Petraeus.
It sounds like a novel, doesn't it?
There she is.
Oh, yeah. Oh, Mike, that's television's Abe Vigoda.
That's not the right
You know what's
picture.
interesting, though? Maybe you'll mention this. If I'm reading ahead, I apologize.
No, go ahead.
But the news breaks after the election.
Right. The White House says it learned of this on Election Day.
Wow.
That was the first time.
They got a great nickname for him, General Betray Us.
Yes, exactly.
I like that.
There is
But why? But it's he's resigned. It's over. This is not anything illegal.
No, it isn't, except in the military, where in the military, adultery is a crime. Now, perhaps it shouldn't be, but it is. The bigger issue, though.
Thank God we're not in the Army, right, Mike? You and me together when we're banging.
The bigger issue always, as it was with those Secret Service agents, the issue is always if you have access to national security information, an affair has always been considered risky for the country, and that's what the big concern is. So now you know why people care.
Do you think he'll be prosecuted?
Militarily, yes, probably.
Really?
Yeah, because it's like one thing if you pump them and dump them, but it's another if you actually start a relationship with them.
Right. So he won't be criminally prosecuted, but he will be, I think, prosecuted, I suppose, within the military.
Oscar, you should mention you got that actual quote from Tom Brokaw. It's okay if you pump them and dump them.
So anyway, there is other news. Congress went back to work today for a few days before the Thanksgiving break as the nation continues to peak over that fiscal cliff that could plunge us back into recession. Oh, look who's back.
What? How you doing? Hey, you called my name? Fiscal Cliff here.
We were talking about you.
How you doing, Buzz? I want to thank Jim, that listener that came up with this idea. Yeah. Fiscal Cliff. Watch out for me.
Fiscal, do you have any ideas on how we might avoid this pending tragedy?
Well, all I know is don't dip the pen in company ink. Thank you very much. So long, everybody.
Just pump them and dump them. There are reasons for both hope and optimism. We'll see. Republicans and Democrats are still standing their grounds on cutting spending and taxing the rich.
I want to tell you.
Another sign the economy is on the mend for now, though, comes from Home Depot, which says its sales figures indicate that the home building business is healing. There were a few Japanese soldiers who continued to fight World War II after it ended. Some Confederate soldiers continued to fight the Civil War.
Mike did an impression of one of them on stage in
long
Reno.
after it ended.
Which one did I do? I forgot what.
The guy from Tora.
Oh, yeah.
You can't get enough of that.
Ooh.
Rob loves that.
I do.
So when wars end, some soldiers continue to fight. Japan, World War II, some soldiers, Confederates, same thing. A lot of Americans are still having trouble accepting that they lost their election hopes to Barack Obama. There are now online petitions in 16 states to secede from the Union because Obama got reelected.
You know what? It worked well last time.
Yeah. In my opinion, really, my old man taught me a few things that have stayed with me over the years and really served me well in life. And one of them is be a gracious winner and loser. If you win big, you're graceful about it because there's another person. And it's the same thing if you get your ass kicked. If you lose graciously, and I swear to God, it's
I think some people
helpful.
were very surprised. I think they're having trouble wrapping their head around it because they didn't expect
losers.
it. Well, that too.
And I have a question because I'm OCD. Are the states that are seceding, are they connected? Because what I don't want to see is the country looking like a checkerboard.
No, among these 16 states include Oregon, New Jersey, and New York.
Oh, then that's bullshit.
That is your OCD.
Hey,
you want them all to be connected.
That's why, at least geographically, the South, it worked okay in the Civil War because it was just a hunk of states.
It would be neater if it was divided geographically.
Let's see if we can find... I'm playing with my computer a lot during this news because Buzz is giving us a lot to think about. So I want to see the red states and blue states and see if we could make Rob happy.
No, there isn't a line.
We're going to have to move people around. There's no two ways around it.
No, the fact is some of the states aren't going to be able to secede.
Right.
I agree with Rob. The ones that secede have to be
They have to be connected.
Right.
You know what? That's going to really encourage interstate commerce and getting along. If you want to secede, you got to build us a bridge.
I think we can keep Oregon, New York, and New Jersey, and that, I think, pretty much leaves the rest of them.
They can have
Rob,
Oregon.
I got news for you.
Well, hold it up. Let me see.
It's going to be a tough thing for New Mexico.
Let me see.
Because they are surrounded. But you can have Montana, Idaho, Wyoming, Nevada, Utah. Wait, this is old.
Give New Mexico back to Mexico. That make Oscar happy.
Wait. He carried Nevada, did he not? Obama?
I believe, Mike, this past weekend we carried Nevada.
Arizona he carried. I'm not sure about Nevada.
All right,
in fact, I read it. He did carry.
You have to be connected.
Right.
That's it. And if you're going to secede, you're stupid anyway, but please, at least keep it tidy.
This is a crappy red state, blue state map.
We have fallen into the K-holes of minutia.
Yeah.
Literally.
That means we'll look this up later.
Who even woke him up?
Here it is, though. Technically, Rob, technically, Rob, the problem is with Colorado and New Mexico, they're going to be surrounded.
Hey, didn't they both just legalize pot?
Well, Colorado's one of the states that has an online petition to secede as well.
But
I failed to mention that.
See, Colorado can't secede because they're a blue state.
I'm sorry, we can't do
So
it.
here it is. But connected, and they are all connected. Not, not every state.
Well, New York and
connected
New
to-
Jersey were blue states.
Arizona, Utah, Idaho, Montana, Wyoming, North Dakota, South Dakota, Nebraska, Kansas.
Still no good, and I'll tell you why.
Oklahoma, Texas, Louisiana, Arkansas, Missouri, Mississippi, Tennessee, Kentucky, West Virginia, Alabama, Georgia, and South Carolina.
It's no good, though, because still, that means California's not seceding, and California has to touch the East Coast.
If some of these states
We
secede,
can't have another country in the middle of our country.
California's a blue state, though. It's not going to be. Come on, hey.
No, come on, hey. It's got to be like the entire
it's
West
like,
goes.
It would be like having another country between North and South Korea.
Yeah, it's like
exactly what it is.
Right,
you know what it is? It's like the Vatican.
But I mean, California is going to sustain Nevada, Oregon, and Washington.
I just don't. The whole thing doesn't sit right with me.
And Florida, when Florida went this, 2 days ago, Florida got went for Obama. Florida is all on its own, which is probably just as well.
They're on the petition list as well.
Just everybody relax.
Texas, of course, naturally, Texas is one of the states on the secession list, and the White House has a rule that requires it to respond to a petition that has as many signatures as does Texas. Wow. And that leads us to our finale. 28-year-old Holly Solomon of Mesa, Arizona, got into a big fight with her husband Daniel on Saturday. She was mad about Obama being reelected and just as mad that her husband didn't vote at all. Daniel's vote wouldn't have changed the outcome, not even in Arizona, but there was no convincing Holly of this. She believed her family was headed for hard times because Obama got another 4 years.
Guy from Arizona who didn't vote at all?
So, so Holly did what any concerned citizen would do. Sober as a judge, she ran over her husband Daniel with their Jeep, leaving him in critical condition and landing her in jail on assault charges.
Oh, dear.
She was right about the hard times. I'm Buzz Burbank on the Mike O'Mara Show.
Thank you, Buzz. Our show today was brought to you by SodaStream. Have your own soda now, fresh at home. I'm so excited. Are we going to get one of these machines?
I'm talking to them today.
I want to see how it works.
So.
I can't wait. 25 cents a can. That's a deal. SodaStream is the ultimate holiday gift.
You'll need it for Thanksgiving because you're entertaining.
It's handsome. It's about the size of a coffee maker, and it comes in different styles and colors. You make those healthy sodas as well.
That's right. No bad stuff.
I want to make beet soda.
You can do it.
You can see SodaStream at Bed Bath & Beyond, Target, Walmart, Macy's, and Kohl's, or visit SodaStream.com to find a store near you. Remember, you can fill a bottle with cold water, snap it into the machine, push a button, carbonate your choice of flavors, even lemonade and energy drinks. It's SodaStream. We thank them for their business. We thank you. Tomorrow, we'll do a recap of our Reno
show.
We'll let you know what happened.
Good.
Have a great day. Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye.
Thank you.
Ciao, ciao.
The All-American half-pounder, 2 pure beef patties, lettuce, tomato. This is Rock and Roll Radio. Come on, let's rock and roll with the Ramones.